Welcome students, myself S.C. Kunde from Gokhale Education Society's Lady C. Bitco English Medium High School, Nasik Road. I hope you all are well. Take care of yourself. I welcome you in the second semester. Now I am going to start the lesson Metallurgy, lecture number 3. Previously we have completed 2 lectures. Next topic is extraction of metals. The first is extraction of reactive metal. The metals at the top of the reactivity series are highly reactive. Their reactivity decreases down the series. For example, potassium, sodium, aluminium are reactive metals. Reactive metals have large capacity to form cation by losing the electrons in their outermost shell. For example, reactive metal reacts vigorously with dilute acid to give hydrogen gas. Highly reactive metals burn by reacting with oxygen from air at room temperature. Their extraction has to be done by electrolytic reduction. For example, the metal sodium, calcium and magnesium are obtained by electrolysis of their molten chloride salts. In this process, metal is deposited on the cathode while chlorine gas is liberated at the anode. The electrode reactions during the electrolysis process of molten sodium chloride to get metallic sodium are as shown below. Next topic is extraction of aluminium. Aluminium being reactive metal does not occur in nature in free state. Aluminium is the third highly abundant element in the earth crust after oxygen and silicon. Aluminium is extracted from its ore bauxite. Bauxite contains 30% to 70% Al2O3 and remaining part is gangue. It is made up of sand, silica, iron oxide, etc. There are 2 steps in the extraction of aluminium. First is the concentration of bauxite ore and second is the electrolytic reduction of alumina. First is concentration of bauxite ore. Bauxite is the main ore of aluminium, silica, ferric oxide and titanium oxide are the impurities present in bauxite. Separation of these impurities is done by leaching process using either Bayer's method or Hall's method. In both these methods, finally the concentrated alumina is obtained by calcination. In the Bayer's process, the ore is first ground in a ball mill. Then it is leached by heating with concentrated solution of caustic soda, that is NaOH, at 140 to 150 degree Celsius under high pressure for 2 to 8 hours in a digester. Aluminium oxide being amphoteric in nature, it reacts with the aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide to form water-soluble sodium aluminate. And this means that bauxite is leached by sodium hydroxide solution. The iron oxide in the gangue does not dissolve in aqueous sodium hydroxide. It is separated by filtration method. However, silica in the gangue dissolve in aqueous sodium hydroxide to form water-soluble sodium silicate. In the Hall's process, the ore is powdered and then leached by heating with aqueous sodium carbonate in the digester to form water-soluble sodium aluminate. Then the insoluble impurities are filtered out. The filtrate is warm and neutralized by passing carbon dioxide gas through it. This results in the precipitation of aluminium hydroxide. The precipitate of AlOH3 obtained in both Beers and Hall processes is filtered, washed and dried and then calcinated by heating at 1000 degrees Celsius to obtain alumina. Next method is electrolytic reduction of alumina. In this method, electrolysis of molten mixture of alumina is done in a steel tank. The tank has a graphite lining on the inner side. This lining does the work of a cathode. A set of graphite rod deep in the molten electrolyte works as a anode. Cryolite and fluorspar are added in the mixture to lower its melting point to 1000 degrees Celsius. The liberated oxygen react with the anode to form carbon dioxide gas. The anode have to be changed from time to time as they get oxidized during the electrolysis of alumina. Aluminium is deposited on the cathode on passing electric current. Molten aluminium, being heavier than the electrolyte, is collected at the bottom of the tank. It is taken out from there from time to time. Oxygen gas is liberated at the anode. Next is extraction of moderately reactive metals. The metals in the middle of the reactivity series such as iron, zinc, lead, copper are moderately reactive metals. Usually they occur in the form of their sulfide salt or carbonate. It is easier to obtain metal from their oxide rather than sulfide or carbonate. Therefore, the sulfide ore are strongly heated in air to transform them into oxides. This process is called roasting. Carbonate ores are strongly heated in a limited supply of air to transform them into oxide, and this process is called calcination. The following reaction occur during roasting and calcination of zinc ore. The zinc oxide so obtained is reduced to zinc by using suitable reductant such as carbon. Apart from carbon, reactive metal such as sodium, calcium, aluminium are also used as a reducing agent. For the reduction of metal oxide to obtain the metal. This is because these metals displace a moderately reactive metal from its compound. For example, when manganese dioxide is ignited with aluminium powder, the following reaction takes place. Extraction of less reactive metal. The metals at the bottom of the reactivity series of metals are less reactive. That is why they are found in free state in nature. For example, gold, silver, platinum. The reservoirs of copper in free state are very few. Presently, copper is found mainly in the form of Cu2s. Third is refining of metals. Metals obtained by the various reduction processes described above are not very pure. They contain impurities. The impurities need to be separated to obtain pure metal. Electrolysis method is used to obtain pure metal from impure metals. Next topic is corrosion of metals. Old iron bar of building, copper vessels not clean for a long time, silver ornament or idols exposed to air for a long time, old abandoned vehicles fit to be thrown away. Rusting of iron article causes large financial loss. Thus, corrosion of iron, that is rusting, is a big problem. Iron reacts with moist air and a deposit of reddish substance form on it. This substance is called rust. Carbon dioxide in moist air react with the surface of copper vessel. Copper loses its luster due to formation of greenish layer of copper carbonate on its surface, and this is called patination of copper. On exposure to air, silver article turn blackish after some time. This is because of the layer of silver sulfide formed by the reaction. Prevention of corrosion. Various methods are used to protect metal from corrosion. Special attention is paid in almost all the methods so that iron does not rust. We can lower the rate of the processes of rusting iron. Corrosion of metal can be stopped by keeping metal isolated from a direct contact with air. First one is to fix a layer of some substance on the metal surface so that the contact of the metal with moisture and oxygen in the air is prevented and no reaction would occur between them. Second is to prevent corrosion of metal by applying a layer of paint, oil, grease or varnish on their surface. For example, corrosion of iron can be prevented by this method. We cannot protect the article permanently from rusting by painting them. The method of painting is suitable for short time. If there is a scratch on the paint on the surface of the article, and if all small surface of the metal come in contact with air, the process of rusting starts below the layer of the paint. The first method is galvanizing. In this method, a thin layer of zinc is applied to prevent corrosion of iron or steel. For example, shining iron nails, pins, etc. In this method, corrosion of zinc occurs first because zinc is more electropositive than iron. After a few rainy seasons, the zinc layer goes away and the inner iron gets exposed. Then iron starts rusting. Second method is tinning. In this method, a layer of molten tin is deposited on metals. We call this as a kalai. A greenish layer forms on the surface of a copper or a brass vessel. This greenish layer is poisonous. If buttermilk or curry is placed in such a vessel, it gets spoiled. Tinning is done to prevent all such damages. Third method is anodization. In this method, metal like copper, aluminium are coated with a thin and strong layer of their oxide by means of electrolysis. For this, the copper or aluminium article is used as a anode. As this oxide layer is strong and uniform all over the surface, it is useful for prevention of the corrosion of metal. For example, when aluminium is anodized, the thin layer of aluminium oxide is formed. It obstructs the contact of the aluminium with oxygen and water. This prevents further oxidation. This protection can be further increased by making the oxide layer thicker during the anodization. Next, fourth method is electroplating. In this method, a less reactive metal is coated on a more reactive metal by electrolysis. Silver plated spoons, gold plated ornaments are the example of electroplating. Fifth and last method is alloying. Majority of the metallic substances used presently are in the form of alloys. The main intention behind this is to decrease the intensity of corrosion of metal. The homogeneous mixture formed by mixing a metal with other metal or non-metal in certain proportion is called an alloy. For example, bronze is an alloy formed from 90% copper and 10% tin. Bronze statues do not get affected by sun and rain. Stainless steel does not get stained with air or water and also does not rust. It is an alloy made from 74% of iron, 18% of chromium and 8% of carbon. In recent times, various types of alloys are used for minting coins.